This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Hannah Belinsky coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Wednesday, March 11th. President Lai marks 15th anniversary of Japan's 3/11 earthquake. AI demands boosts Taiwan's manufacturing index to stable in January. And Justice Minister urges prosecutors to prepare for foreign election interference. But first, today's top story. President Lai Ching-te on Wednesday marked the 15th anniversary of Japan's 3/11 Great East Japan earthquake and tsunami, which killed tens of thousands, by calling for deeper Taiwan-Japan disaster prevention cooperation. Lai said that Taiwan and Japan, both on the earthquake belt, share historical ties and strong people-to-people bonds. He recalled Taiwan's rapid response in 2011 when people across political lines and sectors donated money and sent rescue teams within 72 hours. Lai noted that true friendship is revealed in times of adversity, highlighting Japan's aid during Taiwan's 9/21 earthquake in 1999, Typhoon Morakot in 2009, and the COVID-19 pandemic, including donations of supplies, funds, vaccines, and rescue teams. Lai expressed hope for enhanced collaboration in disaster prevention, humanitarian aid, and social resilience to make each other reliable partners. The Foreign Ministry cited polls showing that over 70% of people in both nations feel an affinity for each other. Bilateral trade hit $84.8 billion, with over 90 agreements signed since 1972 and more than 230 local exchange pacts. Post-pandemic visits and legislative exchanges reached record highs. Additional ties include memoranda and research institute agreements on disaster prevention, as well as workshops through the Global Cooperation and Training Framework platform. Taiwan's manufacturing sector showed signs of improvement in January, as the Taiwan Institute of Economic Research said the business climate indicator switched from a yellow-blue light for sluggish to a green light for stable. The rebound was mainly driven by continued strong demand for artificial intelligence and high-performance computing, along with a low comparison base from last year's Lunar New Year. TIER reported that the January manufacturing signal value rose 1.32 points from December to 13.81 points. Exports, export orders, and the production index all posted significant year-on-year growth, indicating a broad recovery across industries. Xu Bishu, Associate Research Fellow at TIER, said that AI-related demand bolstered production momentum.
In 2025, as Taiwan records a record-high trade surplus and many countries impose trade sanctions and restrictions on China, future import procurement may increase, which could place further adjustment pressure on some industries.
TIER cautioned that rising tensions in the Middle East, including U.S. and Israeli military actions against Iran, may drive up energy prices and heighten global supply chain risks. While AI and cloud computing continue to support Taiwan's tech sectors, global trade policy shifts and China's slow domestic recovery remain sources of uncertainty. At a handover ceremony for senior prosecutors this Wednesday, Justice Minister Cheng Ming-chien said that as infiltration tactics by hostile foreign forces increasingly diversify, prosecutors must change the way they handle investigations. Cheng instructed all newly appointed chief prosecutors to develop preventive strategies against foreign interference and disinformation before year-end local elections. A total of 16 senior officials and chief prosecutors were reassigned or newly appointed at Wednesday's ceremony. Speaking at the event, Zheng said all the new appointees were top-notch candidates. He added that prosecutors are not only enforcers of the law but also guardians of the public interest. As such, the ministry encourages them to use more innovative approaches to combat crime as technology and criminal methods continue to evolve. Zheng stressed that in the face of foreign influence, disinformation, vote buying, and violence that could affect the accuracy and fairness of local elections, every chief prosecutor must prepare ahead of time. As Taiwan looks toward net zero by 2050, the Environment Ministry and Education Ministry have joined hands to launch the country's first online climate change course exclusively for high school students. Environment Minister Cheng Ming-chien explained that the course aims to teach high schoolers the latest climate policy and diverse perspectives and cultivate a generation capable of taking meaningful climate action. Peng said that building climate literacy among young people is the most important survival skill the government can give the next generation.
Today's high school students will be around 40 years old in 2050. They believe that if our generation doesn't make the effort today, they'll be the ones to suffer later. Given today's adolescents already have such strong convictions, we build a course to help them better understand what happens year after year at international climate conferences.
The course brings together speakers from 7 professional fields and translates dense climate science and net zero policy into language accessible to young people. Peng himself contributes as a policy architect, covering the global outlook and national strategy on climate change. National Taiwan Normal University Distinguished Professor Ye Xing-cheng, who studies climate literacy, will also contribute to the course, as well as 3 high school teachers from around Taiwan who specialize in climate change education and 2 members of the National Climate Change Committee. As the United Nations Climate Change Conference produces new developments every year, Peng said the online course will be updated annually to keep pace with the latest international trends. Per the head of the Environment Ministry's Climate Change Administration, Wen Yuyong, the course was launched on Wednesday on the Education Ministry's free interactive learning platform. Students can log in via mobile phone, tablet, or laptop, and within 2 weeks of completing the course and passing an online test, they will receive an electronic certificate. After a year of deliberation, Taiwan's Civil Aviation Administration has agreed to allow multi-service taxis to pick up passengers at Kaohsiung International Airport. The proposal is expected to be publicly announced by the end of the month, with a pilot program potentially launching as early as June. Although multi-service taxis have become increasingly popular, current regulations prohibit them from picking up passengers at most airports, with the exception of Taichung Airport. The restriction has sparked public complaints, though opening airport pickups to these taxis could also draw protests from traditional queue taxis. CAA Director General He Shuping said that while Songshan Airport is located in Taipei's city center and already has abundant transportation resources, travelers using Kaohsiung Airport are spread out across the greater Kaohsiung region and surrounding counties. For this reason, the airport was selected to take the lead in piloting the opening of airport pickups to multi-service taxis. As for whether Songshan or Taoyuan airports will follow suit, He said that each airport will be allowed to evaluate the policy based on its own situation. The 2026 Zhubei Light Festival features intertwined twin main lights that illuminate Zhubei with a water dance.
The 2026 Zhubei Light Festival in Hsinchu County opened up with the theme Realm of Prosperity, running from February 27th to March 15th at Shredzen Forest Park. This year's highlight features dual main lanterns over water, blending light shows, music, and immersive installations to fuse technology, art, and local landscapes. The 2 centerpiece lanterns, Light Borne Toward the Wind and Light Ode to the Breeze, create mesmerizing water dances and light trails, evoking an otherworldly atmosphere. Visitors praise the unique setup, with one calling it special and thoughtfully arranged, and another noting its fun, tech-savvy appeal. A music concert accompanied the evening viewing on March 7th, where Zhubei Mayor Zheng Chaofang took the stage to celebrate. He highlighted the city's recent international awards and how the lanterns reflect Zhubei's innovative character and aesthetics. 5 immersive zones, including the Light Shadow Realm, Blossoming Prosperity Carousel, and Night Market, combine sound, visuals, and terrain for a rewarding experience of water-reflected lights and vibrant displays. Phil Laskowski for RTI News.
Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Hannah Belinsky. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.